Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we have another content creator or a Genshin Impact content creator deciding not to top anymore, which is very surprising to see because, that is all you could do in Genshin Impact nowadays is just the C6 every 5-star character. So we're going to see why he decides not to top anymore.
I started playing Genshin on October the 23rd, 2021. 3.5 years. I have such fond memories of this whole experience. But ever since the first day that I started the game, I remember I got topped up by a friend. And it was great, dude. I remember pulling on the banner, hoping to get Tartaglia, getting Chi-Chi. Really fun.
Topping up in every gacha game feels so satisfying because you have to realize that you could spend either 4 months saving or just drop a quick $20 and get the same amount of Primo Gems you would get when saving up for 4 months. It makes no sense, but again, that's how gacha games make their money. So I do understand why topping up is very addicting.
Fun times. And I really value and appreciate all of those memories. But I think it's time for a bit of a change. But before we get into the video, let me tell you about one of the coolest cameras.
Oh my bro, I do not care about your sponsor, my guy, unless they sponsor me, which they're not.
For 20% off during the spring sale. Click the link in the description and get yours today.
I just saw those cameras before.
Absolutely crazy about this game. I'm still crazy about the lore. The story.
Dude, that is so Cav. You saw that? He was like, I'm so crazy about the lore. The story. Stop capping. The story is so bad. I would say, look, if he said, I feel like, you got to be honest with your, your audience. You got to say, like, there's some good parts of Genshin Impact story. Fontaine was really good. Inazuma, that was really good. Mondstadt, when I first played, was really good. You gotta be honest when you're playing this goddamn game, dude. Not every single part of Genshin Impact, or even like in general, gacha game stories are really good. Even sometimes I feel like Wuthering Wave's story is pretty bad, but there's some really good parts about it. But you can't just say, man, every single part of the Genshin Impact story is really good.
Ain't going anywhere, just as a heads up. But I've noticed a severe lack of enjoyment with a certain aspect of the game recently, and that's with anything combat related. And it's not just because I find it way too easy. That is a big reason, and it's entirely self-inflicted, and I'll explain more of that in a minute. Every combat event you just breeze through, or even the ones that you struggle with, the endgame in Genshin just is not for me, dude.
Obviously you're gonna breeze through. You guys C6 Malvika. I'll be surprised if you can't breeze through. No, for a fact that like Genshin Impact combat really is terrible, just because you can't really do much about it. It's literally like set in stone that Genshin Impact focuses more on story, even though the story is really bad, so I don't really know where their focus is at the moment. I think they're mostly good at making areas, because every single area, I have to say, is really pretty in Genshin Impact, but their story, I think they're more driven about the story, which doesn't really show it. But the combat in Genshin Impact is terrible, and you can't change it because it's 5 years deep. You can't really change the Genshin Impact's like combat is really bad because it's just like, here's a hilly troll, oh, here's a bigger hilly troll, or he's a giant ice hilly troll. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
It's every single time, no matter what brush you paint it with, different strokes, different aesthetics. It's always the same thing. It's always hyperinflated HP enemies versus a timer. I'm not a fan of the timer stuff. Genshin has enough.
Dude, and that's like in every single Hoyoverse games, like in Honkai Star Rail especially, it's like, oh, floor 10 is just, this giant god guy, and he has, let's say, 4 million HP. Floor 12 is this giant god guy, the same one, but he has 3 million HP but has more defense or whatever. It's literally the same exact monster from floor 10 to floor 12, but it's just like either a different kind of combat or more HP or more defense. It's literally the same thing.
Oh, it has enough time limited things going on. The last thing I want to do when going into some fun endgame combat activity is fight against the clock again. Because I feel like we do that enough in real life, dude. Fighting against the clock is something everybody is always doing. There's never enough time. I want a bit of a breath of fresh air, I want to go into an endgame combat mode, and I want to be able to build stupid teams and have a chance. I want to be able to go into it solo and have a chance, even if it takes me an hour compared to 5 minutes. That's what's fun for me, and I don't think we're gonna get that.
Look, you have to realize that you are a whale So it's not gonna be fun for you because all you're gonna do is just like one shot every monster. But if you're free to play, you have more idea of what kind of characters you want to use and build those characters, and then you can make more fun teams rather than just, you know, using Malvika every single time, or using Arlecchino every single time, or using this other DPS every single time. So free to play has more advantage on that. Again, it's just like the combat in Genshin Impact is just not fun, dude. It's just really not fun.
I don't think that's going to be a thing in Genshin, and if it is, I will eat my words. But it's made me sit and think over the last few months, to be honest, and I want to make a change to my account, and I want to stop topping up. This isn't because I don't support the game, it's not because I don't want the characters. Of course I do, everybody does.
Dude.
It's one of the biggest drawing points of Genshin, right? But it is because of
Well, not just Genshin, but like every single gacha game. Like, let's just be honest, dude, the story in every single gacha game kind of sucks compared to like not actual video games, but other video games. Like if you take, let's say, Wuthering Waves, which I would say has one of the best gacha game stories out there. If you compare that to like Elden Ring or some other Dark Souls games or Souls-like games, you know, it's gonna get beaten easily, you know. Or you could take your favorite gacha game and compare it to Elden Ring. Like, it's going to get destroyed by it. You know, what gacha games do focus on mainly is their character designs, and they usually, you know, they try and make it as attractive as possible in order for you to buy that character. So it's not really Genshin Impact. It's mostly every gacha game that does it.
Because of a few different reasons, and probably not only what you're expecting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm still going to use the Welkin, the Battle Pass, those kinds of things.
Why?
Be a low spender, but I'm not topping up anymore. At least not for like random bad
Dude,
characters.
you don't need the Welkin or the Battle Pass anymore. And like, especially the Battle Pass, dude. The Battle Pass does nothing for you. You already have every single character. What's the point of getting the Welkin and the Battle Pass when it does nothing for your account?
And stuff. Maybe if, you know, a character that I've been waiting for the longest time comes out, but then maybe I'll just save instead.
What character? Like, if there's a character that comes out, you know, there's something called saving. You don't need to get the Welkin and the Battle Pass to get enough Primo Gems for the character that you want. Just like, I feel like, oh my god, dude, you can't just say, I'm not gonna top up and still buy stuff from Genshin Impact.
Currently got like almost 100 pulls saved on my account just by not spending recently, because I'm really not a big fan of any of the characters coming out at the minute, man. And the only reason I C6 Malvika was because I made a stupid bet on Twitter, and I knew either way I'd have got shit for doing it, and I would have got shit for not doing it. Would I go back and change that? I don't think so. I like to stick by the mindset of I wouldn't change anything that I've done because it molds you into the person that you are today.
Here's the thing I would say. If you enjoy Genshin Impact, even if you enjoy Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves, and you like a certain character, let's say for Zani, you know, I really like Zani's character design. I understand when someone says, I'm going to C6 this character because they enjoy this character. But you have to understand, how much money do you have? Is it actually worth it? You know, do you really need a C6 Zani or C6 Malvika? Even if you made a stupid bet, you know, you have to realize, hey, this is your future. Do I really need a C6 3D character, pixelated character? You know, you like the character this much, C6 this character. You like this character this much, get that character, you know? But like, C6ing every single character makes zero sense, and I just don't understand why people do it.
Think that about everything terrible stuff that's happened in life.
And even if it's for content, right? Even if you post that video, and even if you have, let's say, how many subs does this guy have? 300,000. Oh my god, this guy has 300,000 subs. But let's say he makes, I don't know, like $4,000 on one video. He probably spends $4,000 C6ing that character. So in order for him to actually make profit on that video, it has to be either sponsored, or he has to make 2 videos just to get the money back he spent on C6ing that character. So I don't really get why you would C6 it.
Go back and change anything. But here's the other thing. I've recently moved country. You've probably noticed the background's very different. Hopefully you like it, because it's a work in progress right now, but I think it's looking pretty good. But I've also started a secondary...
It's blurred out. I don't even...
You're expensive, dude. The standard of living in this country compared to the UK is way higher than what I'm used to. But it's a much more beautiful place, and I couldn't imagine being in a nicer place, other than Japan when I go for 3 weeks in a couple of months. IRL gacha. shiny cardboard gacha, or Pokemon as a lot of you might know it, is starting to become a side business of mine. It's been a hobby
Dude,
of
I
mine.
swear, when you play gacha games, you get addicted to any other gacha aspects in life, like pulling for cards or whatever. Like, oh my god, is pulling for Pokemon cards so addicting?
Ever since I was a child, I've loved playing the games. I played the TCG as a kid. I collected the cards as a kid, got rid of some amazing cards in my pocket in the washing machine. It still haunts me to this day. But I did get back into Pokemon a few months ago and I started making Pokemon content. I'm currently in the process of setting up my own online store, which I'm looking at right now. It's a work in progress, so I'm not going to show you all yet. But yeah, I have a second YouTube channel, Brant. If you're interested in Pokemon stuff, feel free to check it out. If you're not, don't. I'd rather only people interested check it out because that's the whole point of it, right? But yeah, I'd rather save extra money to be able to put into something else that I'm also passionate about, considering Genshin Impact is a free-to-play game, and I have characters on my account now to do everything. I don't need another main DPS. I have
for sure.
I have Kino, I have Mawika. I don't need another support. I have Kazuha, I have Jilonen, I have all the Hydro applicators at this point, Yelan, Sing Sho. Dude, I have everything that I could possibly want on this Genshin account. They could quite easily throw a spanner in the works with that and introduce a new element or something, which...
Dude, even if they introduce a new element, which a lot of people were talking about, it's not going to change the combat of Genshin Impact. It's still going to be trash. But again, like, you don't need every single character in gacha game. I don't know how people think that they need every character. Even in, like, Honkai Star Rail, like, I get it. Maybe Honkai Star Rail, you might need every character because of the way Honkai Star Rail is being played. Whether in Waves or, like, Genshin Impact, or maybe like Arc Knights or any other gacha games, you don't need every single character in order for you to be able to be the end game of that gacha game. You know, you don't need it. He didn't need to make that stupid bet for Malvika to get C6. You know, he already has Arlecchino. But I mean, it's content, I guess, for him.
Might be looking kind of likely with the moon stuff. I don't know. But even then, man, I think I'd rather have that feeling of pride from saving a little bit extra rather than topping up $500 just to get a character or two, you know? So I think this is probably a huge turning point in my story as a Genshin player, but it's also a really exciting turning point. It's like starting a whole new chapter of my Genshin story and experience. So I am looking forward
to it. It's not much of experience when you're still getting the battle pass and the Welkin. It's not, you're not experiencing something new. You want to experience something new, do free to play or something like that.
But I'm also not stupid. I'm not gonna class this account as a free-to-play account or a low-spender account. No, it's a whale account at this point. I have 2 limited C6 characters. I have a few limited standard characters. It is what it is. But from this point on, I do think I'm gonna become a low-spender, Welkin Battle Pass only. And I'm curious what you guys think about that. I think it's a good decision because it is going to allow me to focus.
Why not just not get the Battle Pass or Welkin? Like, I don't understand it. You don't need any. There's no new character that's coming out except for the Cowgirl. Once you have the Cowgirl, you're not going to see a new character for like the next 6-7 months, dude. You don't need those 2 things. You could literally save $25 a month if you don't get the Welkin or the Battle Pass.
Focus on other things that I'm super passionate about as well. But I don't want you all getting the wrong idea that I've lost any passion for Genshin, because honestly, when this lore dropped the other day about the moon stuff, it reignited something in me that I haven't felt in, I would say, since Natlan was announced. And even before that, dude, when Natlan was announced, I thought I was going to be so much more hyped about Natlan because it was my most anticipated nation in the whole game. And when we got the teaser and it was the Saurian stuff, it plummeted. I'll keep it a buck, dude. It plummeted to the depths. And then...
oh my god, imagine going ahead and be like, Natlan, the city of war, dark and gloomy or whatever, you know, making it all dramatic and stuff. And then you see like a cute dinosaur walking by, or you see a giraffe walking by, all cutesy and whatnot, you know. You see like a chick with a motorcycle. Like, how are you gonna like advertise it as being like the city of war and this is what it looks like? It looks like some Teletubby, you know, crap.
That line came out and the story itself, absolutely phenomenal. And I really thought...
they don't lie. I mean, oh my god.
I really do feel like now that the Archon quest has ended, it's kind of stopped there. And just as a heads up, I'm recording this on the 12th of March. I'm recording.
Why? I don't understand why. Like, you guys could let me know, but like, I don't understand why we have content creators that are like, hey, you know, I love Genshin Impact. Everything about Genshin Impact is perfect, but they just can't say, you know, this story was bad or this story was bad. They're gonna be like, dude, every single part of Genshin Impact story is so freaking good, and I love it. He could have easily said, you know, Fontaine was the last thing he liked, you know, and I would have accepted it, but he was like, nah, Lynn, bro, come on.
Putting this before the live stream, that could change a little bit for sure. And I'll let you know in the comments. I'll pin a comment.
I heard that I heard the live stream did not go well.
And just let you know if any of that does change. But I don't think anything's going to change the fact that I'm going to stop spending as much money on Genshin. I think it's a smart decision, business-wise, health-wise, finance-wise, just in general, man. One thing I also want to do is pour more money into the Genshin content, giving things away, doing prize funds, things like that. So the money's still going to be going to Genshin. It's going to be going to the Genshin communities and stuff like that. You guys, I just don't need any
The toxic community.
My account feels pretty complete. Yeah, time for a new chapter in this Genshin journey, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Let me know if you like the new setup.
All right, well, I have to say, bro, just not get the Welcome of the Battle Pass. It's not worth it. You're getting a 4-star weapon, dude. It's not that big of a deal. You already have every 5-star weapon. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you might like this video, which I'll leave up on the screen, which is where I beat the MOC using 0 artifacts. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.